In 1872, a ship was found floating in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The sails were up. The cargo was untouched. There was even a half-eaten breakfast still on the table. But every single person on board, 10 of them, had vanished without a trace. No bodies. No lifeboats missing. No signs of a struggle. To this day, nobody knows what happened to them. Now, let's go back to November 1872, when this whole story begins. This is the story of the Mary Celeste, and why it still terrifies investigators over 150 years later. Before we dive in, if you're new here, welcome. I cover unexplained mysteries and strange events from history every week, so hit subscribe if you like this kind of thing. The Mary Celeste was a well-built cargo ship, captained by a man named Benjamin Briggs, an experienced sailor with a spotless record. He wasn't reckless. He wasn't new to the sea. In fact, he brought his own wife and 2-year-old daughter along for the voyage, which tells you how safe he believed this trip would be. On November 7, 1872, the Mary Celeste left New York Harbor, headed for Genoa, Italy, carrying barrels of industrial alcohol. 10 people were on board: the captain, his family, and a crew of experienced sailors. Everything about this voyage looked completely normal. Then, on December 4, nearly a month later, another ship called the Dei Gratia spotted the Mary Celeste drifting strangely in the ocean, about 400 miles off the coast of Portugal. Something was wrong. The sails were partly up, but no one was steering. The captain of the Dei Gratia sent men aboard to investigate. What they found made no sense. The ship was completely empty. No captain. No crew. No passengers. But here's where it gets strange: nothing else was missing. There was food still on the table, as if someone had just gotten up mid-meal. The captain's charts and personal belongings were still in his cabin. Even the crew's valuables, money, pipes, clothing, were untouched. If this had been a robbery, or a mutiny, or pirates, someone would have taken something. Nobody did. The ship's only lifeboat was gone, suggesting the crew left in a hurry. But why would experienced sailors abandon a working ship in the middle of the ocean? The weather logs showed no signs of a storm. The cargo of alcohol barrels was mostly intact, though 9 of them were later found empty, a detail that would fuel theories for the next century. There was no sign of violence. No blood. No damage to the ship's structure. It was as if 10 people had simply stepped off the edge of the world. So what actually happened? Over the last 150 years, investigators, scientists, and historians have proposed dozens of theories. Let's go through the most compelling ones. Theory 1. The alcohol fumes. Some researchers believe that the barrels of industrial alcohol may have leaked, releasing fumes that worried the captain enough to think the ship might explode. In a panic, he may have ordered everyone into the lifeboat, planning to stay close to the ship until the danger passed, but a rope may have snapped, or a sudden gust may have separated the lifeboat from the ship, leaving everyone stranded at sea with no way to get back. Theory 2. A rogue wave or waterspout. Some sailors of the era reported freak waves capable of washing people overboard without damaging the ship itself. If a wave hit while most of the crew was on deck, it's possible they were swept away almost instantly. Theory 3. Mutiny. This theory suggests the crew turned on the captain, though it struggles to explain why nothing was stolen and why the ship was left in working condition rather than sailed elsewhere. Theory 4. Something stranger. Because no bodies were ever recovered, and no distress signal was ever sent, some theories drift into stranger territory: sea monsters, sudden illness, even paranormal explanations. Most serious historians dismiss these, but they're part of why this case became so famous. Out of all of these, the alcohol fumes theory is considered the most scientifically plausible today, but even that doesn't fully explain everything. And that's really the core of why this mystery has lasted so long. Every theory answers some questions but leaves others completely open. When the Dei Gratia brought the Mary Celeste to port, an official inquiry was launched. Investigators searched for any sign of foul play, cut ropes, blood stains, forced entry, and found nothing conclusive. The case was eventually closed without a clear answer, and it remains officially unsolved to this day. The 10 people who vanished from the Mary Celeste were never found. No bodies ever washed ashore. No wreckage of a lifeboat was ever recovered. They simply disappeared into the Atlantic, leaving behind a ship that looked like everyone had just stepped away for a moment. To this day, the Mary Celeste remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in maritime history. No confirmed answer. No bodies. No explanation that fully fits every detail. If you found this story as unsettling as I do, let me know in the comments what theory you believe is most likely. And if you want more stories like this every week, make sure you're subscribed, because next time, I'm covering a mystery that's even stranger than this one.